It was a dark and stormy night, and my friends and I were looking for something exciting to do. That's when we heard about the old, abandoned house on the outskirts of town. People said that it was haunted, and that no one had lived there for years. We decided to check it out. As we approached the house, we could feel the air getting colder and the wind picking up. The front door creaked as we pushed it open, and we stepped inside. The first thing we noticed was the smell, a musty, moldy odor that made us all wrinkle our noses. We explored the first floor of the house and didn't find anything too out of the ordinary. But as we started up the stairs to the second floor, we heard a strange noise coming from one of the rooms. It sounded like someone was crying. We cautiously approached the room and opened the door. The crying stopped as soon as we entered, and we found ourselves in a room with no windows and only one door. It was completely empty except for a small, antique mirror hanging on the wall. Suddenly, we heard the door slam shut behind us. We all panicked and tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. And that's when we saw something in the mirror, a figure standing behind us. We turned around, but there was no one there. We looked back at the mirror, and the figure was gone. But then we heard a whisper in our ears. "Get out." We continued to try and open the door, but it wouldn't budge. And then we heard footsteps approaching from the other side. They were slow and deliberate, and they were getting closer. Just when we thought we were done for, the door suddenly opened, and we ran out of the room and out of the house as fast as we could. As we looked back, we saw the figure standing in the doorway, watching us leave. To this day, we don't know what we saw in that haunted house, but we all agree that we never want to go back there again. The old house had stood abandoned for years, but something drew Anna to it. Maybe it was the way the vines had grown up around the windows, or the peeling paint on the front door. Whatever it was, she couldn't resist the urge to explore. As she stepped inside, a chill ran down her spine. The air was musty and stale, and the floorboards creaked onto her feet. But she pressed on, drawn deeper into the darkness of the house. As she made her way through the rooms, she noticed something strange. The furniture was all covered in sheets, as if someone had been preparing the house for a long absence. But there was no dust on the sheets, and the air felt strangely charged, as if something were about to happen. Suddenly, Anna heard a sound. It was a soft whispering, like someone was speaking right in her ear. She spun around, but there was no one there. She tried to tell herself it was just her imagination, but the whispering grew louder and more insistent. And then she saw it, a figure standing at the end of the hallway. It was a woman, with long hair and a white dress, staring at Anna with unseeing eyes. Anna tried to run, but she couldn't move. The figure stepped closer and closer until she was right in front of Anna. Her eyes seemed to bore into Anna's very soul, and her breath was cold and stale. And then the figure spoke, in a voice that was both hollow and full of sorrow. "Leave this place," she said. "You do not belong here." Anna tried to respond, but no words came out. The figure reached out a hand, and Anna felt a chill run down her spine. But just as suddenly as she had appeared, the figure disappeared into the darkness. Anna stumbled out of the house, her heart racing. She knew that she had encountered something otherworldly, something that defies explanation. From that moment on, she never went back to the house again, knowing that the ghostly figure still haunted its halls.